In this lesson, you'll learn how to use AJAX to create a search field that displays suggestions from a predefined list of values without any page reload. This HTML page shows an example of the end result. As we type in a name, the suggestions appear directly below. To begin, we'll start by creating the query page in a basic HTML document. Create a new HTML document and save it as index2.html inside your XML folder that we created earlier in your web root folder. Inside the body tag, create a form with a name, label, and input field. Attach an onKeyUp event to the input that will trigger a JavaScript function that will be naming suggest. Also create a suggestions label and create a span with the ID hint. This span will display the suggestions if a match exists or remain empty if there is no query. Next, we need to create some JavaScript that will communicate our search query to a PHP script to check for suggestions. We haven't made that PHP script yet, but we will after this. Start with the function, and again, we're naming it suggest. Attach a string parameter to the function as well. Next, we'll check the length of the inputted query. If it is equal to 0, we will specify that nothing should be displayed in our suggestion span named hint. And we're doing that using the document.getElementByID method. After that, we have an else statement which will execute if a query was inputted. If a query was inputted, we first create our XML HTTP request object, and we've worked with that earlier. Next, we need to create an OnReadyState change event that is triggered as soon as the ready state changes. And the ready state is contained within this if statement. In AJAX, when the XML HTTP.readyState is equal to 4 and the XML HTTP.status is equal to 200, the response is ready. The response is then sent back as an XML or text data. In this case, it will be stored as a text string. The response, which in this case is the actual suggestion, will be displayed in our span with the ID hint. Notice that our XML HTTP.open event has appended the query to our suggest.php page. And this is done using the get method. The asynchronous value is also set to true, indicating we're using AJAX. So once you finish creating this file, we'll need to create a PHP file with our suggestions. And this is what the suggestion page is going to look like. If you want to avoid having to type it out, the file is available in your downloads folder corresponding to this lesson. Make sure you save this file in the XML folder as well. So both our index2.html file and suggest.php file should both be in the XML folder in the web root directory. On this page, the first thing we do is we start with an array variable, and we've called it A. This variable will store each name value in the array, and you can put as many names as you like here. Most of the time, this data would come from a database, but we've just hard-coded it in for the sake of this example. Once you've created your array with each name value, you'll need to create a variable Q, which will request the query from our previous page, from the input field. Also create a hint variable and set it to empty as a default value. Now we'll create an if statement that states if the query is not empty, then Q is equal to the query variable. We've then set up a for each loop to go through each character and compare it with the names in our array. If there is a match, the variable hint is set to equal the value of the match name. If, on the other hand, there is no match, then the text no suggestion will be displayed. And we'll just show you the end result again. So if there's no suggestion, then you can see the text here displayed. And you can see that it narrows the list based on the amount of characters that we've entered. And this is as a result of the for each loop in our PHP script. So that's really all there is to it.